Hey guys, Ulysses here with Odycco, and for today I wanted to make a quick video on the newly released South Park Adidas collaboration. Now, as a huge fan of South Park, I knew I had to make a video of these ASAP. So, like with all Spotlight videos, the question remains, does the collaboration do the job? Let's get into it. Now, for anyone who didn't know, these were released March 21st, 2022, and for retail price, they run you anywhere from $100 to $120, depending on, which shoe you get. Now, from first glance, it's obvious that the team that made these, they're huge fans of the series. I mean, there's a bunch of different nods to the characters of the show, and in terms of aesthetic, they're definitely as loud and bold as the characters are. So let's see what we got here. Now, we have a total of 6 different styles, all representing 5 of the main characters. Now, I'm not going to review each of them one by one, being that, I only bought one, but as you can see, each shoe here carries its distinct features of the characters it's representing. And last but not least, my favorite of the group and the focal point of, today's video, the Forum Low sneakers inspired by Awesomo 4000. Look, the episode of this shoe that this shoe is based off of is hilarious, and I highly recommend it. I won't get into too much of the details of it, but that robot is actually Cartman in disguise trying to play a prank on Butters. If you haven't watched this, the show, let this episode be the introduction that you need to get into it. But let's move along. Now, I have certain gripes with collaborations because I feel like most of the time they just add a colorway and call it a collaboration. It's nothing new. I've said this a bunch of times, but with this, I think Adidas perfectly encapsulated source material while still remaining true to their own brand. So much so that for this piece, it's actually the textures and the fabrics that drive the character of the shoe rather than, the silhouette, which is usually the case. Let's peep a little bit deeper. The upper is a leather material in what appears to be a pastel brownish color. That's what it looks like to me. It's layered on top of what seems to be like a corduroy suede-like type of texture to resemble the ridges of a cardboard box. Now, usually there's some holes in the toe box, but in this case, they opted to forego it to highlight that cardboard feel. At least I assume so. Now, I don't think you would call this a lace guard, but these colors here at the bottom of the tongue resemble Awesomo's handcrafted buttons that Cartman obviously just glued on, which aside from being a funny detail are pretty nice bold colors. However, I think this part of the shoe kind of throws it off stylistically, but I'll elaborate on that later. Now, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but the laces are coiled in a way that resembles the coil that Awesomo has on his body that's connected to his head. And if this was intentional, I love it because subtle things like this always get me. Plus, it gives a unique look to an already unique sneaker. The heel counter has this metal foil on it, a smooth metal foil that I'm assuming resembles the arm and the legs of Awesomo. However, maybe they took some liberties with that to make it look more robotic. It's similar to the foil that you see on Butters' shoe. However, this one is obviously smooth compared to the aluminum foil look made to resemble Professor Chaos. Next, we have the Velcro strap in front of the tongue with the words Awesomo embossed on the strap, and that leads us up to the face of the tongue, which we have the face of Awesomo. Now, design-wise, that's about it. The rest of the shoe is pretty much built like the original version of the Forums, and from what I see, each shoe in this collection has its own little Easter egg. So if you're a fan, definitely check them all out. But let's talk about the shoes as a whole. Collaboration aside, it's a pretty well built shoe, which isn't saying anything new, being that Adidas quality tends to always be pretty high. Now, there are a couple of glue stains throughout the midsole, but nothing I'll lose sleep over. I enjoy how wide they are without appearing like those wide DC skate shoes from back in the day. So it makes them pretty comfortable, yet they feel sturdy and locked in. They're not too light, not too heavy, just the way I like my sneakers. However, here's my main complaint. To continue on a point I made before, the colors on this section and the metallic heel counter stand out very boldly. Outfit-wise, I don't think I can make an outfit out of these unless I'm going very casual, like a monochrome fit, or building the fit from the ground up, with the shoes serving as the base of the entire operation. But I ain't gonna lie, I like how this fit looks here, so it kind of blows up my whole argument. But I think that these design choices take away from, the shoe overall. But that's just my limited view on it. Plus, I've only had these for a couple of days. I'd like to try and challenge myself to finding an appropriate outfit. However, I don't think I have many items that work with this shoe, which takes it down a notch in terms of versatility and harms the wearability of the shoe, which proves to me that this is more of a collector's item for the fan than it is a sneaker. And, you know, I almost forgot to mention the box these guys came in. I really love the hue of blue that they use, and the placement of the characters is pretty on brand depending on what shoe you got. However, I don't know if it was just my box, but I think I got like this typical matte finish on it, and I know that previous versions have like this whole embossed feel to them and they're glossy. It's not a big deal, but it's just something I thought I would point out. And of course the tissue paper is pretty on brand as well, which now reminds me that this isn't the first time South Park and Adidas actually had a collaboration. They actually made one with everyone's favorite pothead, Towley, that I think is much better than the latest batch in terms of wearability and versatility, in my opinion. It was released last year appropriately on 420 based on the Campus 80s. Definitely check them out when you can. I mean, they're pretty common, and I'm sure there are tons of reviews on YouTube if you have any questions about them. Before I drag this like any further, I think the consensus with this collab and these sneakers would be that, you know, they're collector's items first and a fashion piece second. I think of these more as a conceptual shoe rather than a wearable one. However, if you want to rock these, then rock them out loud and proud. They aren't anything to be ashamed of, and they're a great conversation starter, and I think, you know, if pulled off correctly, they might work for your fit. So to answer the question, does this collaboration work? Does it fit its purpose? Yes, but with an asterisk. I think the asterisk is only if you're a fan of the show and if you plan on collecting these. I don't really think these work as a wearable piece, and judging from the reception I've seen online or just from the promo pics that people talked about, they didn't really seem too excited, and I don't see the options that you could have with this shoe. Granted, that being said, you'd be surprised. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, especially you South Park fans that happen to be sneakerheads. Would you rock these? What do you think of the collaboration? Feel free to comment below and let me know. And you can also catch me on Instagram or Twitter at odycco. But for more content, feel free to like and subscribe. My name is Ulysses here at Odycco, signing out. Take care, y'all.
We've only just begun.